Health is often shaped by the choices we make and the systems created to protect those choices. Hello and welcome to Health Digest, your go-to program for timely, relevant and people-focused health conversations. I'm Ukeme Etukwa. Today on the program, we explore important health stories, expert insight and developments making an impact. On that note, let's begin with our health news.
Let's begin our health news from Abuja, where the rising cost of healthcare, which has placed heavy financial burdens on families, leaving many indigent patients without access to the medical care they desperately need, is getting a renewed public attention. For vulnerable Nigerians, the inability to pay for medical diagnosis and treatment often means living with pain, uncertainty, and preventable health complications. To change this narrative, Wealth Help, a subsidiary of Century 21 Freedom Group, has intensified efforts to restore hope through its charity initiative. Officials of the organization explained that the initiative was established in response to the increasing number of individuals forced to delay or abandon treatment because of financial constraints.
We have people who cannot even afford to pay for their medical bed. For as low as 17,500, 20,000 naira, we have people in that category. We have in neonatal, we have female medical ward, and also we have in the pediatrics ward, right? So those people crosses across all those categories. So the goal is to clear their medical bills.
Health experts expressed gratitude for the assistance received, noting that the intervention has given patients a renewed hope to continue treatment, while calling for collaborative efforts between government and private organizations to play a role in ensuring that vulnerable Nigerians are not left behind.
Any little drop that is targeted at charity will practically go a long way towards letting people know that there is hope. And no matter what their medical diagnosis is not the end of the world.
We are imploring the rest of Nigerians, the NGOs, that they should come, please. We need more of them. We have so many indigent patients in the world.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting state-driven healthcare industrialization, renewing its partnership with the Borno state government to expand local healthcare manufacturing and strengthen Nigeria's health sector. At a meeting in Abuja, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Patey, said the federal government would provide enabling policies, technical assistance and regulatory support to ensure the success of the initiative. The meeting brought together senior officials of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and a Borno State delegation led by Governor Babagana Umaru Zulum, with discussions focused on plans to establish a Tom Brown production facility to support the treatment of malnutrition, as well as pharmaceutical manufacturing aimed at increasing local production of essential medicines and reducing Nigeria's dependence on imports.
Ideas of manufacturing are not new. They've been talked about for decades. There's a reason why countries and places have been deindustrialized. And the key ingredient is leadership. And in Borno State and in this governor that you have here, you have a leader who is a doer. We've signed the Africa Medicines Agency Treaty. We've deposited the instruments. So Nigeria is part of a coalition of 24 countries. So what you produce in Borno State, you have the Nigerian market that is growing, but you have a wider African market as well. So the prospects are.
The initiative forms part of the federal government's broader healthcare industrialization agenda, which seeks to strengthen local manufacturing capacity, improve healthcare delivery, and enhance national health security.
Establishing an industrial park in Borno State that is fully powered by solar power, with all the infrastructure, roads, and so on. So what we're doing for Borno State, as we are doing for other states, is to bring in investors. And we're lucky we've attracted investors called the Japan Group that have been operating in almost 30 countries around the world.
Governor Zulum reaffirmed Borno State's commitment to providing a conducive environment for investors, assuring prospective partners of the state support for the successful implementation of the project.
I've already procured 5 megawatt power plant, solar power plant, the industrial park. And we are in the process of establishing the 5 megawatt. We're also providing road networks inside the industrial park. We still also meet the pharmaceutical factory in Maiduguri. The market is there.
The proposed facilities would not only meet the healthcare needs of Borno State, but also serve neighboring states and countries within the region. Stakeholders at the meeting described the partnership as a major milestone in positioning Nigeria as a regional hub for pharmaceutical and healthcare manufacturing.
Still ahead on Health Digest, some major health developments making headlines. The World Health Organization is warning that yellow fever remains a growing public health concern. With continued transmission reported in parts of Africa and Americas, the World Health Organization says vaccination, surveillance, and rapid response remains critical in preventing outbreaks, especially in high-risk communities. Also, researchers at the University of Queensland have discovered that a molecule from Australian funnel web spider, Venom, may protect brain cells from damage after stroke. Scientists say the findings could help develop future treatments to reduce stroke-related brain injury. And now to our Outreach Edge, where we spotlight health initiatives and awareness campaigns making community impact. Cancer is one of Nigeria's biggest silent killers. And cancer campaign awareness aims at educating communities about early detection, prevention, and treatment options. The Mariam Astawande Cancer Support Foundation has lent its voice in creating awareness against breast and prostate cancer with an outreach in Abuja that sensitized members of the public on the need for early detection and treatment of disease.
Usually in this part of the world, people present late, meaning there is still a lot of gap in awareness, right? People come to the hospital when it's already very, very late, and it becomes more difficult to treat, and it becomes more expensive also to treat. Yeah, so if government can support us to, take awareness to not just the urban areas, to take awareness to rural areas, to market women just like we're doing today, to, places where the common man cannot get to.
Salami, a cancer survivor and a founder of the Mariam Atswande Cancer Support Foundation, said the objectives of the free prostate and breast cancer screening was to create awareness and also call for more investment in the government and cancer management.
Cancer. Even government alone cannot handle it. That is why you see normal civil society people, normal people, they come here, they can't do. People, NGOs, individuals, philanthropists can come together and, come together and make the message louder. It will go a long way. Government is doing something already, but it is still not enough. So, collective efforts will make it better.
So we're trying to create awareness. We're trying to encourage people to come for screening because early detection would save a life. It is when the cancer has progressed beyond redemption, that is when you can actually not save them. So we're using this free screening by Medicaid Cancer Foundation as an opportunity to enlighten people, enlighten the men. Most times there's always focus on women, but today it's actually about the men. You need to know about your prostate. You need to know that, okay, there are things that can make you prone to cervical prostate cancer. So it is very important for the men to take their health serious as well, to go for regular screenings to check whether, as long as they are getting from the age of 40 and above, to check their prostate to be sure that everything down there is okay, because we know a lot of men shy away from things like this.
Beneficiaries, while commending the organizers, also used the opportunity to call for the establishment of additional centers to improve access to care and assist in reducing the rising number of cancer cases and related deaths in Nigeria. You're still watching Health Digest, and now it's time for Health Tech, where we explore ideas and innovations shaping the future of healthcare. Stay with us. Wearable health technology has developed far beyond counting steps. Devices such as smartwatches, smart rings, skin patches, and medical sensors can now monitor health indicators, including heart rate and abnormal heart rhythms, blood oxygen levels, sleep patterns, physical activity, and body temperature. Glucose levels in some specialized devices as well. The major innovation is a continuous monitoring and traditionally accepted method in which a doctor may measure a patient's blood pressure or heart rate only during hospital visits. Now, wearable technology can potentially collect health information throughout the day and identify unusual changes. In Africa, however, the affordability remains a significant issue. The greatest potential may therefore not only lie in expensive consumer smartwatches, but in the affordable medical sensor and remote monitoring devices designed specifically for low-resource settings.
Finally, we're here on our Chat with the Expert segment, where we shift our focus to an important part of healthcare that affects everyone. We're looking at the safe quality and regulations of medicines. Let's take a look.
Register for manufacturing is exclusively supposed to undertake the process manufacturing. Ditto for importers, ditto for distributors. They don't have interface with clients, with patients, with consumer. Ditto for wholesalers. Now, the community pharmacy, that is the retail pharmacy, are the one that are supposed to have interface with the patients, with the client, with the customers, as well as the pharmacies in the hospital. Now, you also have the patent and proprietary medicine vendors that are also having direct contact with the patients. Now, these categories of facilities that have direct contact with the patients have a clear expected rules and regulation. The community pharmacies are supposed to be run under the direct supervision of a superintendent pharmacist. A superintendent pharmacist is a professional, a pharmacist who has been licensed,
Yes.
who has the authority for processes of manufacturing, if he found himself or herself in that endeavor, or importation, or wholesaling, compounding, counseling, handling distribution of medicines and poisons. It's a wide range of all, let me call it all categories of medicine, down to poisons. Now, the patent and proprietary medicine vendors are only supposed to handle over-the-counter medicines. Mm-hmm. Nothing outside that. Anyone that handles medicines outside that, of course, is in breach
Yes.
of the regulation, and if found in the course of enforcement, will be taken up for sanction. So I have laid out the different categories of premises and what each category is supposed to do, down to the patent and proprietary medicine vendor. Of course, the hospital pharmacy is also supposed to be under the superintendency of a pharmacist, who also have the authority to undertake the wide range of activities which I have listed out for community pharmacies.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation to look at the different categories, as well as it's good to know that there are different licenses that are needed for the different practices. That's
Settings,
why.
yeah.
So it's important for our guests and our viewers to know that when you go to different pharmacies, there are different licensings that are needed. So ensure that whatever pharmacy you're going to, that they have the licensing for the service that you're actually going there for. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
Now, among these different categories you've mentioned, where would you say you find the most challenges when it comes to practice? Which would you say every other time they are on borderline when it comes to the regulation?
Very good question. The one on the borderline are the patent and proprietary medicine vendors. And they are also the one, or they were also the one that aggregated to establish another worrisome platform called open drug markets. There's nowhere in the world anywhere in the world where you go to a market, you see somebody selling foodstuffs, grocery, textile, and then the next shop is just selling medicine. Except here, be that as it may, we are also on the part of, in fact, we have almost overcome that challenge because we have set clear timelines, clear guidelines for the closure of that market, those markets. Now, having said that, these are the category of facilities with the that are on the borderline in terms of breach of regulation. Why? Is what I will tell you now.
Please do.
And of course, and I expect that will serve as a good point for the public to know why we are where we are and to appreciate what we are doing to reverse the trend.
Yes.
Now, the patent and proprietary medicine vendors are individuals who are not pharmacists, which means these are individuals who don't have the capacity to undertake the array of activities that I have listed that a pharmacy should do, from manufacturing down to handling, down to distribution, down to sale, down to counseling, down to handling of medicines. But then, it was observed that we do not have enough pharmacists. We also have inadequate number of health facilities. And the ones we even have are skewly distributed in favor of the urban against the rural area. So the patent and proprietary medicine vendors were created in 1936 for the sole purpose of ensuring that we bridge this gap in areas to cover the shortcoming in terms of the number of pharmacists, the inadequate number of health facilities, as well as skewly distributed distribution of these facilities.
Yes.
That simple household medicines that are called over-the-counter medicines this will be granted permission to handle those medicines so that people in hard-to-reach area, people in areas that are not properly covered can have access to this simple household medicine. Why simple household medicine? Because these are medicines with wide margin of safety. What we can call therapeutic index is very large. These are medicines that even when you take, the chances, the possibility of coming down with adverse side effects, is very rare. Take example of something like vitamin C. What dose of vitamin C can cause, a very serious, what we can call side effects. Perhaps you'll be talking about something like 60 grams. That's a whole, before somebody can take that, you should know that person, there is something wrong up there. The same paracetamol and what have you. But where the challenge came from was the fact that when this group of individuals were created, the authority to regulate them was situated in the ministry in charge of health. That's at the federal level. And then this authority is now delegated by the ministry to either any tier of government or any institution of government. And that was where the problem came from. We had times in the past, between 1936 and now, where this authority was delegated to as far as local governments. There were times this delegation was given to state ministries of health.
Yes.
There were times it was concentrated in the Federal Ministry of Health. Unfortunately, each time this delegation is done to either another tier of government or another institution of government. And the government again observed that it is not being properly done. The next point of thought is if the Pharmacy Council has also been established since 1936, to take care of manufacturers down to community pharmacies. I mean, why can't they take care of people who are handling over-the-counter medicines?
Yeah.
So the next step will be, okay, let's take them back to the Pharmacy Council so that we have everything consolidated in one place. Sadly, at several times that this authorization was given or delegation was done, we had this group of people come together, challenge that process. They will want to be everywhere, anywhere, but not consolidated or centralized with the Pharmacy Council. And what do? They run to courts, secure injunctions. And some of those injunctions lasted sometimes for 10 years, ongoing, unresolved. What that meant was the Federal Minister of Health has said, go back to the Pharmacy Council. We said, no, we don't want to go. We've gone to court. Court said, okay, there is an injunction. Status quo remain. They are neither here nor there.
So thereby they can't really be under any authority.
What that meant was it gave them the opportunity to use their own platform of association to now begin to take care of, to register and regulate themselves.
Now, what are the implications of that when it comes to public health?
Thank you very much. The implication now was, these are people who don't have the knowledge, they don't have the competencies, they don't have the skill to do everything that they are currently doing, that is handling any category of medicine. You know, they started calling themselves doctors, chemists, and what have you, stocking to the level of controlled medicines, getting to the point of aggregating themselves in the market. What that poses to the public health, one, is that they don't have the required capacity or knowledge to know how to even source medicines, or which medicines are genuine, how medicines are supposed to be stored.
Yes.
Go to their facility, you cannot even see an air conditioner. You cannot see storage facilities. You cannot see proper handling processes. Even medicines that are appropriate or are properly produced are now faced with the challenge of storage. And that leads to degradation. If it were to be antibiotic, you have situations where you now take those antibiotics and they fail. What that means is that you begin to have antimicrobial resistance.
Yes.
What of controlled medicines? Everybody, even for a pharmacist who has authority to handle poisons, there are processes for handling prescription medicine. In fact, we have a register which was developed jointly with USAID, United States Agency for Information and Development. For every controlled medicine that is dispensed, we want to see the name of the prescriber. We want to see the date it was prescribed and the purpose for which it is prescribed. And we want to see the pharmacies that dispense it. And we want to see what is the inventory control in that facility. What was there before the prescription, what was left after the prescription. And then we can trace down. These people don't even obey these rules. So any and everybody now access controlled medicines. And where are we? It takes us to a point where issues of challenges of crime becomes a problem.
I hope you found that insightful. One final health update before our next segment. The National Cancer Institute says scientists are studying oncolytic viruses, specially modified viruses designed to target and destroy cancer cells while activating the body's immune system. Researchers say this emerging approach could expand future cancer treatment and the options alongside the traditional therapies. If you love our updates news, stay connected to us and our space by following Ukeme on Air on Instagram, YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. Coming up, it's Balance Check, where we break down food, nutrients that we consume and explore how to balance and not to be excessive or restrictive. Remember, it is key to better health. Let's take a look. Not all cooking oils are the same. Some oils such as olive oil, canola oil, soybean oil are rich in unsaturated fats which can support
heart health when used in moderation as part of a balanced diet. On the other hand, oils that are higher in saturated fats like palm oil and coconut oil should be used more carefully, especially by people with high cholesterol or an increased risk of heart disease. The key isn't to avoid oil completely, it's about choosing the right type of oil, using the right amount, and maintaining a healthy overall diet. Healthy eating isn't about eliminating oil, it's about making smarter choices.
And now that's our segment for today. Sadly, from medicine, safety, and healthcare regulations to global health development, we've explored the key issues shaping well-being across different areas. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this program, Health Digest, with us today. As always, you need to stay blessed and not stressed. I'm Ukeme Etukwa. Bye.